As I come off the ridiculous, funny episode that I gave you guys, the baby bottle is just baby bottles in front of me, guys. I was full of babies, so it's only about 4:10 in the morning. No, this is not mine, by the way. This baby bottle. I will stick with this. We'll stick with the regular cups, okay? God bless you, by the way. And so, by the way, there's gonna be a video that I'm gonna do on the Trinity. I'm gonna be refuting this guy's teaching against the Trinity on YouTube. I'll try to get the guy's name. He's gonna be hard to find, but he was misinterpreting the Bible and saying, well, there's no Trinity. Only God is called the Father, which is not true, by the way. Okay, Totheo is describing the Holy Spirit in verse 4 of chapter 5 of the Acts of the Apostles. Didn't even mention that. And Jesus is called strictly God at least 11 or 12 times in the Bible. So we'll check those out, and we'll check out his verses, and we'll easily defeat that. As I come off of the criticism of the singing here in Don Pedro, okay. But the chagrin is that they're still singing, though. You know what I'm saying? But that's for another topic. Maybe I'll make a video this time. But it was hilarious, and you should check it out. I think I called it the bad singing in Don Pedro. I mean, it's just hideous, guys. So it's almost a crime. They should almost be arrested. Like, goodness gracious. But anyway, I was talking about. I made an earlier video, but I deleted it because it was too long, and then it ran out. So I mean, I'll get to the point. I was drinking my milk. Now I'm drinking water over here now, and then I joke with Risa sometimes. This is before, we had the store, and so, because we always have now, you know what I mean? We always have. I mean, I'll just show you real quickly. We're going to pave everything and put a window here. We have windows in the other room, but there's no window there. But we put a screen there, a store screen, and it has a little tiny door that you open. It reminds me of Gilligan's Island. And then we have stuff like there hanging and all that other stuff, and so I was getting to the products that we were selling very quickly. Like, we sell shampoos and soap to take a bath and stuff like that. I could describe the prices in a later time though, but shampoos and dishwashing detergent, fabric detergent, for clothes, and bleach and stuff like that. And we sell different kinds of even Head and Shoulders here in the Philippines. There was a Head and Shoulders commercial in the Honeymooners, lost episodes from the 1950s. I think 1951. That's how old Head and Shoulders is. Like 70 years old. Did people think that's kind of new? That's like 70 years. It's more than 70 years old. It's Head and Shoulders. Can't even speak no more. So so we sell those things. We sell like I said, bleach and soap to take a bath and soap to wash dishes and all this other stuff. And then getting into the things that you consume, we sell coffee and juice and tea. We sold also, but we ran out because I'm the hog. And then I eat I eat my own products. So coffee, hot chocolate, milk. Milo is a hot chocolate we sell here. That's pretty good though. It's kind of tasty, Milo. Not that bad. Not that bad. I miss the hot chocolate with the marshmallows in it though. I miss those though. They probably have them here, but I don't see them though. They have Nestle over here. I mean, they have Nestle. They have Coca-Cola. They have Head and Shoulders. They have, So they sell some things that they do in the States, So copycats that they are here in the Philippines. You understand what I'm saying? But so we sell like milk and Tang and little tiny envelopes, not little tiny ones, but like 2.5 by 3 inches or whatever they are, or 3.5 inches. It's a nice, you can make a whole jug, like is a foot tall and about 6 inches wide or whatever. I mean, you can make a nice batch of juice with just 2 of those though. You need 2. So we sell eggs, and we sell bread, and we sell vinegar, and we sell oil, and we sell cupcakes and candy and lollipops and salt and sugar and lighters and matches and tampons for girls. Okay, I'll give you the price at another time, but we sell those. I told Risa that she should put the price higher because they need them. You know, they don't have no choice. Actually, they do have a choice. They can go to another store, you know. So, but you know, and then and you know something was good. I mean, what was good about having a car is that you weren't in a time of the crisis. You were not dependent on the tricycle. And so actually, we would have been, at that time, I don't think nobody had a car over here. They had a store, except for Edwin, I think. We would have been the only ones that had a store. No competition at all. If we had our car, if we had a store at that time, you know. So, because we were the only ones getting around, basically. And a couple of other people that had cars. And that's about it, you know. And then we sell, let me see, masks. You know, white masks and black masks, and not K95. We don't sell those though. You know, we sell like you know, masks that are about like 5 pesos or 3 pesos, which is equal to 10 cents and 6 cents respectively. You know, and so what else we sell? I mean, we sell soups, and we ran out of those. I think, I don't know, but I think we ran out of soup. We sell eggs, like I said before. Stick coffees. Those are kind of good stick coffees. You know, it's raining, I think. And like I said before, like Oreo cookies and stuff like that, and cupcakes and potato chips, and when we get our refrigerator, God willing, we'll sell soda and some other things. You know, some other cold beverages, like maybe tea or whatever the case may be. I mean, you know. And as I'm looking at the store over here, so you're looking at a profile, you know, profile, like Norton used to say. And let me see what else. So we sell like little tiny balls of bleach or something like that, or whatever. Onions, even onions we used to sell when we had them on stock and stuff. And somebody asked for a tomato, but I said no, we don't have it. Sorry, we don't have tomatoes. Okay. That's my baby. Hi, my love. Everything is fine though. I mean, Risa is 6 months pregnant, like that, and then she's going through all the pains that you do in carrying a child, and you know, now as a father, as a husband, you know, I understand even more first of all what marriage is all about. I mean, basically, I mean, and first of all, you don't know what marriage is until you get married. It's just I thought I knew. I knew the Bible, and I know what marriage is about. There's nothing compared to the actual thing itself. You know, I'm talking about marriage. I'm not talking about no garbage. And my wedding is up there, by the way, on YouTube and on Facebook, by the way. Not the whole thing, just you know, the ceremony, yeah, but not everything. You know, getting out of the car, going into the car. That'll come later. You know, I have some snips and pieces of the whole day, but I don't have the party yet. You know, before the wedding and after the wedding, and I mean, I have some stuff. I'm gonna be putting everything up there, but there's nothing like making vows, getting married. You know, fearing God and getting married, and everything else is a sham, is a shadow. Is a lie. Okay, I mean, I'm just saying, if you're not married, truly married, you know, then you're not. First of all, you're not pleasing God, and you're not in the will of God, and you know, it's just a fabrication. It's a pseudo relationship, basically. You know, there's no promises. There's nothing that you make to each other. There's no vows. There's nothing, and it's fake. You know, and then you're showing your children to do the same thing, and so when your child grows up and he's not going to be married and he's not going to be pleasing God, so it's like a domino effect, you know. But anyway, that's for another time. But you know, she's So I understand that actually that the pain is actually the whole 9 months. It's not just delivering the child and you have pain right there, because some people get away with that. Some people put an injection or whatever the case may be, probably doing harm to their bodies, and then you don't experience the pain and stuff like that. But the 9 months they have pain. You can't get away from having pain the whole 9 months. You know, in particular stages, you can't. You can't. Tooth pain or going to the bathroom a lot, or cramps, or the baby kicking in the womb violently, doing some karate or martial arts in there, thinking he's Bruce Lee already. You know, didn't even show him anything yet. It's already kicking. It was already kicking in the womb, for God's sakes. So the baby's fine, 6 months old, in the womb, I should say, you know. And then Anna's doing fine. She experienced some seizures again, but you know, in the beginning part of the month, she is taking medication 3 times a day, but she has some seizures, but now she's better. You know, she didn't have any seizures at all in January, and she had like around 3 in early February. But it's already February 28th, so I mean, you know, she didn't have. The last seizure she had was like 22 days ago. So hopefully my best friend in the whole world, Denise, is right, and she'll maybe grow out of that, you know. So what else do we sell, by the way? Let me see. So cupcakes and potato chips and cigarettes. Oh, okay, Ange, wait a minute. Aren't you a Christian? What are you selling cigarettes for? Don't you know that does harm? Yeah, I just struggle with that. When Reza told me the idea, gave me the idea of you know, selling cigarettes, though, I said no. And then I changed it to yes. Why? Well, I came to think. Okay? Came to think about it. Wait for a second. I guess for a second, guys. I came to think about it. If we take away cigarettes, that's harmful for you. Let's just put it like that. It's harmful for you. And take away everything else. What do you mean, Ange? We'll take away, we sell sugar. That gives you diabetes if you consume a lot of it. It can give you diabetes. Take that away. Well, how about salt? That increases your high blood pressure. So you might die of a stroke or a heart attack. Take that away. Then they're gonna have to take soda away. Okay, when we sell it in the future, you have to take that away. That could give you diabetes, and you know, cause you problems. The kidney failure or whatever the case may be. I mean, that's a problem. Potato chips and cupcakes. That's not Oreo cookies. That's not good for you either. Even lollipops that we sell, that's not good for the teeth. It's not good for your teeth, and we sell those. So basically, I said, well, if you're gonna have that standard, it's kind of hypocritical to sell the other things at the same time, because the thing is that everything that you eat can be potentially bad for you anyway. So I said, I mean, except if you're talking about peanuts, even though they put salt in them, which is good, but they put salt in peanuts, I mean, you know. Ice cream. If you eat too much ice cream, you can become a diabetic or whatever the case may be. Even on Nancy Pelosi, I mean, she's kicking though. I mean, you know, she's up and running. She's 80 years old. She loves ice cream. Also, Joe Biden loves ice cream. So what are you going to do about that? So I said, you know something, honey? And I did this like about 3 weeks after or something like that. After I told her, I gave her an initial no. I said, you know, I changed my mind about those cigarettes. And she said, are you sure? I said, yeah, honey, because the thing is that if we don't sell the cigarettes, we're still selling things. Just basically, if the people don't consume it responsibly, there you go, responsibly, then it's going to make you sick anyway. Man shall not live by shampoo alone. That's what I'm saying. So basically, I put that in the mix. Cigarettes, they do sell well. That's good. But people is just going to have to smoke responsibly, just like, you know, the commercial says, drink responsibly, you know. So what are you going to do if you sell beer? That's another thing that we can sell when we have a refrigerator, beer. Beer is actually, you know, if you don't consume it like soda, is better than soda. I don't like beer. I never will. I don't like the taste. It tastes like sewer water to me. It tastes like nothing. I'll stay with my juice. Juice is another thing. We sell Tang and tea. So what are we going to do? Stop selling those things because Tang can give you diabetes? I mean, you know, that's the thing about that. So it's kind of hypocritical to sell one thing and not sell the other thing. It's kind of hypocritical. It's hypocrisy. So everybody, it's just like if you sell if you're a store, a gun store, and you sell guns. Well, you can't say well, you can stop selling the machine guns. I mean, selling those, those magazine type guns. You don't need that. You don't need that. Okay. You first of all, a citizen, in my opinion, shouldn't have a gun. A regular citizen shouldn't have a gun. I mean, I know in the United States, you have a right to bear arms. I'm from the United States. I was born and raised in the Bronx. The Bronx got better, by the way. And but in my opinion, I mean, if you live by the sword, you shall die by the sword. The only ones that should have guns are the police, the army, the military, airport personnel like pilots to defend themselves and stuff like that, whatever the case may be. After that, nobody should have a gun. But I mean, the law is the law. And what are you going to do if you're a gun store? You say, well, something happened yesterday, so we're not going to sell. We're going to close the store. Now that could be up to your own conscience. If it's to the point that it's against your conscience, that whatever is not of faith is sin. Last verse of chapter 14 of Romans. So, what are you going to do? Close the store? What are you going to do if you sell hockey sticks or bats? Well, I'm a sports guy, sports dealer, goods and stuff like that. I sell bats, I sell hockey sticks. But I just heard last year that the rioters in the Capitol use hockey sticks, and maybe some of them use bats. I don't know, but they definitely use hockey sticks. Okay, what are you gonna do? Stop selling hockey sticks because people are using bats and maybe in car rage or whatever the case may be, or in the Capitol? So unless it's illegal, you don't want to sell anything that's illegal. You don't want to sell martial arts equipment in New York, okay? Unless it's illegal, unless it's something bad, then everything else is up for grabs, and then the person that comes to the store has to be responsible, and and it's just like if you're selling baseball. So what are you going to do if somebody dies because they got hit in the chest by a baseball in a baseball game as a child? Stop selling baseballs? Again, it could be up to you. But the cigarette thing, I mean, I changed my mind, because not only cigarettes are bad for you, but everything else is bad for you. Soda is bad for you, cupcakes are bad for you, cookies are bad for you. I mean, the way you look at a girl is bad for you. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So basically, I said okay for cigarettes. They sell well. That's a good thing that it sells well. But I mean, everybody has to be responsible for their own, actions, and my conscience is clean, because I can't live a life of hypocrisy. Oh, I'm not going to sell cigarettes, but I'm going to sell soda, which is just as bad, basically. Okay, because a lot of people smoke and nothing goes wrong. A lot of people do for the most part, and there's a lot wrong. But a lot of people drink soda, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing. I mean, it gives you diabetes. It creates fatness and overweightness, and whatever the case may be. So what else we sell? We sell masks, like I said before. We sell oil. We sell dishwashing detergent, fabric detergent, soap to take a bath. We sell bars of soap that are expensive and 60 pesos, but we sell ones that are not so expensive, 20 pesos, which is about $2.50 and 40 cents respectively. We sell matches and lighters, and we sell soup and eggs and bread, and like I say, tea, juice, and milk, coffee sticks. I mean, we sell chips and potato chips, that is, and stuff like that. And so I want to get a haircut, by the way. I like when I have my army haircut, and I just look younger. You know what I'm saying? It does hide a multitude of sins. Okay, a nice haircut. That was that. By the way, did you see that Captain Kirk, William Shatner, went to outer space in a rocket owned by Blue Origin, which is a wonderful company name, is a company that's owned by the founder of Amazon. I forgot his name, but he's a wonderful guy, by the way. Very funny guy. Very funny guy. I saw an interview with him and Charlie Rose. I know Charlie Rose got into trouble, but I mean that interview was amazing. It was so funny. It was down, or you could feel like you could just talk to the guy, off the street. You know what I'm saying? Nice, decent, funny, the responsible human being. I mean, there was no problem with Amazons at all. The guy has a project that I think, if it gets to full fruition, colonizing the moon, that's when Jesus is going to stop it and come back. I'm telling you right now. He is not going to allow the colonization of space. He's not going to allow that. Even if there's a prophecy in Joel chapter 2 that the moon is going to be turned to blood, and it says that again in Acts chapter 2. I think that people are going to die in the moon. That's not a threat on my part. I mean, I can't take you to the moon. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying there's a prophecy in the Bible that says that people are going to die in the moon. The moon shall be turned into what? Blood. That could be the color of the moon. Okay? And it can't turn to blood. There's no way that it could turn red, the moon, right? It could be a lunar eclipse or whatever the case may be, but it's not going to turn into blood color. So that has to be a prophecy. He's going to turn into blood. Well, look at what happened with Cain killing his brother Abel. Your brother's blood cries from the ground. There you go. I think that's what's going to happen. It's a nice thing to accomplish physically, but God is against that because He's going to judge people here. So you have people living in Mars and Pluto, and nobody can go to Venus though, but and stuff like that. I mean, then you're going to have people scattered all over the galaxy and stuff like that. And how is God going to judge all of these planets if He only promised to judge here? Right? They're going to be judged anyway. They're going to die in these colonies. I mean, so what? But if people, the sea gave up the dead, and under the earth, or the top of the earth, or whatever the case may be, that has to do with here. And that's why God has to come back. So anyway, that's just a thing that I say that, I think that's why Jesus is coming back sooner rather than later, because of the people's attempt to colonize space, which is going to take years anyway, to make stations on the moon. I mean, it's going to take within 100 years, probably. I say within 100 years, but people wanted to go to space in the 1950s. The president of the United States, at least Kennedy, said it in 1961 or 1960 that he wants to get to the moon by 1969. So they did it within 10 years. Then the shuttle was created in the 1970s, and that took 10 years to make, right? I mean, and now they're going to Mars and stuff like that, and these different rovers, and and then so I mean, if they do that, then nothing shall be impossible with man, like the Bible says in Genesis chapter 11. Come, let us go down and end it all. There you go. Verse 7, chapter 11 of Genesis. And I think that's what's going to happen. But family-wise, getting back to us, and we're doing fine. Me and Risa are doing better. It was a pregnancy issue, attitude, stuff like that, And I found out that the pain lasts for the whole cycle of 9 months. It's not only when you deliver, that you feel pain, but it's the whole thing. As a husband, as a father, now I understand what the Bible says about, first of all, about marriage. Okay, marriage is marriage. Boyfriend and girlfriend, that's something else. First of all, you're not pleasing God when you're not married and you live together, and you're showing your child or children to do the same thing, and then they're not pleasing God, and it's just like a domino effect. You know what I'm saying? But there's nothing like making marriage vows to each other, and remembering those vows. Respecting and honoring those vows when you're in trouble. Okay. And stuff like that. So I mean, I know that the pain is like all the way through the 9 months. It's not, just the date of delivery. That's not what the Bible is saying at all. I mean, it's pain all the way through the 9 months. Whether it's the baby, maneuvering near your bladder, and and you're, you know, the baby kicking, thinking he's Bruce Lee in the womb or whatever the case may be. I didn't even teach him a thing yet, you know. He's already kicking in there and stuff like that, you know. And so, you know, but, you know, Anna's much better. Thank God. She only had seizures in the beginning of the month, 3 of them. But it's the 28th of the month. That was like 22 days ago. So I mean, you know, she had no seizures in January, and the end of the month, and the end of the month of February was good. So hopefully she'll continue to take her medicine, and she does every day. You know, 3 times a day. That's prescribed. So she's, you know, she can't talk yet. She can't walk. She can't even sit up. But that's, you know, maybe hereditary. Maybe that had to do with me, that I was slow in that. Because she's just like me and everything. So maybe I was slow in body strength. You know what I mean? So she's not the only baby that can't do that. She's only 2 years old. So I mean, you know, give her time and stuff like that. You know, I didn't even know my name when I was in the 2nd grade. Okay, I couldn't even write my name. So anyway, so she's doing better. I'm doing fine. You know. Riza's doing fine, and as for the house, you know, like I keep on saying, this for another time. We'll hopefully get another loan in January or December, and maybe fix up things, you know, and pave everything and put more windows. And by the time next year, you'll be looking behind me at in this particular room at windows and paved and painted objects and whatever the case may be. I mean, you know. So what else do we sell though? The cigarettes, you know. And the cigarettes, by the way, is 6 pesos each, which is only 12 cents each. That's ridiculous. In the States, it's probably like around $1 for a cigarette or something, or a few dollars. It's probably $5 for one cigarette. Over here, you can get it for 12 cents. I still don't smoke and I still don't drink. I despise both things, you know, for me, you know. I mean, you know, this, you know. But yeah, William Shatner went to space, so he's actually Captain Kirk now. And I was excited. And when I get excited, I say, "Ooh, honey, look at this." And so she gets scared, you know. But that's how I am. And then I said, let me look at the internet for a little while. Look at Captain Kirk and see what is he up to, William Shatner. And then I see him going on a rocket. He was scared to death, though. Captain Kirk was brave. He was calm. In that respect, he wasn't Kirk. I mean, he was nervous as hell. Let's just face it, though, guys. He was a nervous wreck. And he was saying, "Oh, I'm so grateful, I'm so glad for the experience." The experience that he's still alive. Okay. He was shaking in his, you know, Fruit of the Loom. So just put it like that. Okay. And, man. Captain Kirk became Captain Kirk. Let's just face it. Nobody of the whole crew of the Enterprise, out of the 8 or 9 main people, Nurse Chapel, McCoy, Spock, Chekhov, Sulu, you know, bitching and whining and complaining about everything of William Shatner. He's not the one who went to space. Captain Kirk did. He's probably said, "Damn." He could talk about William Shatner all he wants now, you know, unjustifiably so, but he never went to space. And then Sulu's always talking, you know, George Takei, about Kirk and you know, about, well, I'm a commander now. I'm a commander of a spaceship, you know. And he's just a little tiny model. What was a big model at that time? He's a commander of nothing in the show. He wasn't important in the show. He was there originally. Not the original pilot, but the second pilot. Okay, fine. Where No Man Has Gone Before, Sulu, Scotty, and Kirk were there, and Spock. Okay, fine. But he was so insignificant. After the second pilot, Kirk was always in the show. Spock was always in the show, I think. You know, but Sulu, he wasn't always there. He was a very, you know, I hate to say insignificant, because it showed you the, you know, the collaboration or the international atmosphere of the bridge, that, you know, somebody came from Japan and somebody came from the planet Vulcan, and somebody was African American, and the other person was a country doctor, and, you know, and somebody was from Ireland, and I mean another one was a Russian, and then I mean this is just it's just beyond, you know, before its time. You know, everybody coming together and being an international, just like the International Space Station. That comes from Star Trek. You know, International Space Station. We have the Enterprise being international before anything else. You know, paving the way for all these projects that NASA would do. I mean, you know, even though a lot of the projects was done before Star Trek, though. I mean, you know, so I mean, you know, so after Buck Rogers, there you go. But William Shatner going to space, wow, I was so happy that actually Captain Kirk became an astronaut. You know, William Shatner actually officially now is an astronaut. You know, you don't need to know how to land a vehicle, whatever the case to be an astronaut. A lot of the stuff was done by computer, even in the space shuttle. You know, the pilots weren't guiding everything, you know, that went on in the space shuttle. You know what I'm saying? No, that was done by computer. Most of the stuff is done by computer, you know, except when they're gliding down and landing the spaceship, you know, which the shuttle was retired. There's 3 of the 5 shuttles survived. Challenger and Columbia were destroyed, you know, but in '86 and 2003. But I mean, there's 3 shuttles that remain. One of them is in New York, by the way. So you know, yeah, no, William Shatner in space, you know. So from pregnancy to space, you know, I talk about everything, you know, and the story in between, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, what else we sell? Sugar, salt, um, tea, and different lollipops and candies for kids, and cookies and cupcakes and stuff like that, whatever the case may be, and potato chips, bleach, I mean, you know, masks, different kind of masks. Not K95, we don't sell those though. We don't sell those. People are not going to buy a 13 peso mask, which is 26 cents. They're not going to buy that. K95 over here is 26 cents. Very cheap. I have a K95, man. I have 2 of them. And so, as my stomach growls, you heard that? Man, I just ate some bread. Goodness gracious. And basically, they have soup. We sell soup. And I mean, you know, there's other things that we sell. Bread. I don't know if you heard that. Bread. And what else? Lighters and matches, like I said before. And this, it's like a round circular thing that when you light up, it lights up and it goes around, around, and around very slowly to repel mosquitoes. Oh, we sell diapers, but we're out of those though. And eggs. We sell Pampers though, you know, for 10 pesos. You know, that's 20 cents for 1 diaper. So we're out of those though. We have to stock up though. But that's it for now, you know. So it's nice when Riza comes from the store, or when we come from the store, you know, it's a nice stock of supply, and we hang it up there. And the thing is like this, I'm gonna leave you like this. I get my dream fulfilled. I like to stock up. I used to stock up in the United States. For me personally, I used to buy everything for the whole month. And then, you know, if I need something, I used to go to the store and you know, okay, I ran out of fries, let me buy some more fries, or I run out of this, ham, let me buy some more ham. Okay, fine. Everything doesn't last, you know. But so I'm a stock guy. I like to give, you know, buy a whole supply for the whole month. Well, my wife is not like that. So, but she's forced to now because we have a store. So she has to stock up by force. Okay. So I have my wish being completed, fulfilled, and she has hers. She has a store. So, you understand what I'm saying? That's just the deal. Anyway, I think that's it. I think it's gonna conk out soon. So, God bless you guys, and everybody's fine here, thank God. But any, you know, I'm gonna say to my brother that any help for birthday parties, that's good with me. That's good with me. You know what I'm saying? I'll take those. I'll take those. Believe me. You know, and definitely I can't wait for another loan, because then I can really start doing things around the house and you know, buying things that I really need to buy, and but that's for like next January or December. Hopefully excuse me, before Christmas, we get another hefty loan, you know, after paying a bulk of this loan, you know. And, you know, my money is very dependable. It comes every month. It's not a gigantic sum of money, but it's something that's very dependable, more than other people who are taking loans, and then maybe they'll lose their job or whatever the case may be, and they don't have that income coming in. Or maybe there's a catastrophe, a typhoon, and then they can't make their payments because they can't go to work because there's no job. Well, my money is not dependent on the Philippines or the conditions that the Philippines has to, you know, will bring to you. A typhoon or an earthquake, God forbid, or whatever the case may be. I mean, you know, God forbid the latter, you know what I mean? There was an earthquake here in 2013. So hopefully that's not for another 100 years now, you know what I'm saying? So right here in the spot that I'm at, you know, like all of this was shaking and quaking and people were running for their lives and stuff like that. Godfrey was only like he was a baby, you know. He was a baby. He was just born, I think, right? He was born, so I mean, you know. Anyway, God bless you. I love you guys. Miss you guys from the States. Pray for Obe. He's in trouble. He's making a decision that he's going to regret.